Welcome to our final and last orientation call for the year. You know, um, it's important. I mean, thank you for joining us, but it is important to close 2025 years strong and start 2026 even stronger. Okay, so a lot has happened in Riemann this year, and a lot more of exciting things is about to come our way this coming 2026. So if this is your first time, first orientation call with us, we are happy to have you here, and all of us are so blessed to be here, right now. I am Maricel Young. I am dialing in from Las Vegas, Nevada, and I am a director with Riemann. Okay, but before we dive in, let's if you would put in the chat where you're dialing in from, so we know where Riemann is closing strong this year. Okay, so where is everybody dialing in from? Cali, oh, from Wisconsin, Singapore. Wow, Orange County, Tampa, Florida. Welcome to the call. Vancouver. Good, nice. Where else, guys? Where else are we? California. Welcome to the call. Calgary. Wow, there's a lot, huh? Australia. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Utah, Bermuda. There's a lot of us here. But anyway, Philippines, Alabama. Wow. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I mean, in the interest of time, I cannot mention you all, but like I said, thank you for tuning in. Now, I invite all of you to please get a pen and paper, okay, and jot down notes, because tonight we have an incredible lineup of speakers and who will share with us some golden nuggets of wisdom that's worth taking note of, okay? So for tonight, our orientation agenda, let me share my screen real quick, okay? Our orientation agenda tonight is, of course, welcome everybody to the Riemann community. And, we will discuss the support system that our company has for all of us. And we're also here, okay, to guide you in properly launching your business. And at the end of this call, we're going to have some important announcements that will excite you as we step into 2026. Okay? So now, who is Riemann? Okay? Riemann was established back in Korea in 2018. All right? We have garnered $2.5 billion in revenue the first 4 years in business. And then we are rated as the #1 K-beauty brand, okay? And we have sold over 40 million bottles sold in Korea alone. Keep in mind, guys, Korea has a population of 51 million. So almost the whole country has had our products, okay? Now, luckily for us too, the owner of the company decided to go global. And of course, the first stop is North America, okay? North America, we launched here in March 18, 2023. And then we launched in Taiwan back in December of 2023. And just last year in July, we launched in Hong Kong. And this year in April, we launched in Mexico, Malaysia, and Singapore. Okay, and just last October, we launched in UK and Philippines. And a few weeks ago, we launched in Japan. And guess what? Next year, we're going to be launching in a few more countries. Okay, so it's going to be exciting. All right, so Riemann is all about rethinking, reimagining, and redefining. We've always said, like, Riemann always does things differently, okay? We are unique in so many ways, okay? Our philosophy is rooted in tradition. Our products are premium products, okay? That actually is not skincare, it's actually skin repair, okay? You get premium results for a fraction of the price, okay? And our compensation plan, guys, it's second to none because it's simple, it's direct, and guess what? It truly gives us the ability to change our financial future, okay? And last but not the least, the people in Riemann are exceptional, okay? We have amazing leaders. We have the management team is like, just care for us. It has the distributors' best interest at heart. Okay, I love Riemann. There's so many reasons why I love Riemann. So many levels. Okay, now let's discuss about the support system. Okay, so first we have the Riemann.com. Riemann.com is our website, okay? And it's really global because just one website, okay, you can go to different countries where Riemann is present, okay? And in our website, we can enroll new distributors, We can enroll new customers. We can place our orders. We can manage our orders and sales. And we have different business tools and marketing tools. All right. And also in the website, when you can go to your business, just click go to my office using the same password, and there you will see your business snapshot. Okay, in there you will see your commission eligibility, your commission history, your genealogy, a variety of personal and team reports, like how many planners do you have, how many first level planners do you have already, how many are on auto ship. Okay, how many active customers have placed their orders? How many points do you have already? And how many more SP are you away from the next milestone? There's a lot of stuff that you can find in there that can help you navigate and run your business just at the tips of your fingertips. So it's amazing. All right. Now we also have there our personal mall. Okay. In the personal mall, you will have your own mall link, your enrollment link, a shareable link for your social media, and also the capability to have your own bag, right? What does that mean? Creating your own bag is actually easy, okay? Enter your bag title and your description. You can even select the country in which you would like to use your bag. Okay, and you can select the products, the quantities, and whatever it is that you think the customer needs, and then you create that link and you send that link to the customer, and that way, okay, that customer will have a seamless shopping experience. Actually, this is very helpful for me because there are some customers who rely on my expertise, right? So because they don't know what they need to address the concern. So now they rely on my expertise and on what I recommend. So that way I can tailor it to their needs. Okay. So this is very helpful. Now, the second support system that we have is the Drive. Okay. The Drive is one of my favorite because in the Drive, to go there, you have to go to explorereman.com. Okay, and in there's a lot of downloadable materials like product one sheets, brochures, social media materials that you can use for posting. You have business tools and forms, videos, how-to videos. There's a lot of things in there that you need, okay, that we all need. So I invite you to go into the Drive, okay, peruse everything in there. It's a plethora of information. And once you do this, okay, you will be armed, okay, so that you can become more successful in doing Reman. Okay, now the third thing that we have is guiding you in launching your business. Okay, so in the Drive, you will find this form called Launching Your Business. So if you have a printer beside you, you can go ahead and print it out and you can fill it out as we go through it. Or if not, just listen in and you can do it later. But in launching your business, the first step is your business plan. Okay, so business plan is much like your blueprint or floor plan before you build a house. So it's the same thing. So it's important to have a business plan. And in a business plan, there are three things that is important to note. First, your short-term goal. So short-term goal is what you want to achieve in the next 3 to 6 months. Okay, it could be just making $500 to help with mortgage. It could be making extra $1,000 to enroll your kids to like extracurricular activities, like whatever it may be. Okay, jot it down. Okay. Next, you have your long-term goals. Okay, long-term goals is what do you want to achieve in the next 2 to 5 years. Okay, it could be becoming a national director like in a year or two. Making extra $10,000 to retire your husband, or making extra $15,000 to finish paying off the house. Whatever it may be, jot it down. Now, when you jot down all these goals, it's important to add one more thing. You need to add the goal date that you want to achieve when you want to achieve it. Because at the end of the day, we all know when it's just plans with no goal date, it's just wish list, right? And the thing is, it's important to have a goal date because when you have a goal date, you know that you want to achieve something by a certain date. So it changes the way you act, okay? Your actions becomes intentional. So it's really important. Now, aside from these two goals, the third thing that you want to put on your business plan, for me, is the most important of all, is your why. Okay. And I always tell everybody that I talk to, again, your why is like fuel to your car. Yes, we do have a lot of leaders We do have a lot of training that points us to the right direction. It's just like a GPS, go right, left, straight, and tells you where to go. But at the end of the day, if you don't have fuel in your car, you have nowhere to go because you can't move, right? And at the same time, your why has to be really strong, okay? Because when business have highs and lows, okay, business, we encounter challenges. Now if your why is not strong, it will stop you dead in your tracks. But if your why is strong, no matter what is in front of you, you're gonna go through it. You're gonna go past it no matter what. You'll do whatever it takes to reach that goal. So it's really important to have that why. Okay. Now, before I end, if there's one thing I want to leave with you is this. You know, money follows mastery. You wanna know and master our products to know why our product is the best for everybody's skin, right? You wanna know and master the business so you learn how to earn money and make the best of this business. And you want to learn and master yourself. I promise you, if you do this, when you master the business, when you master yourself, money will just flow. Money will just follow you. It's inevitable and it will come naturally. Okay. So that's the end of my part. Now it is my pleasure to introduce you to our next speaker, who is an amazing individual. Okay. I've sat with her like a few times at some of our conventions, and I love her energy. Her energy is contagious. She will share with you her experience with the products and her testimony. And please help me welcome to the call Director Jen Bersamian. Welcome to the call, Jen.
Thank you so much, Maricel. And I need to brag about you for a minute because you didn't brag about yourself. So Maricel is a top leader in our company, and she is so knowledgeable. She is so kind and giving and sharing. I know I see so many of her team members on here. Let's give the hearts and the love and thank you so much for sharing all your information, your knowledge with us today. We appreciate you. So yeah, I mean, we have the best skincare on the planet. Do you all agree that that is true? Because you have to have the biggest belief. Sales is the transference of emotion. When you love the products, when you use the products regularly, twice a day, morning and night, and then hey, even throughout the day when you're feeling a little bit dry, I'm in Massachusetts. You can imagine how dry it is here. I'm spraying that Biotin, the two-phase oil mist like a champ all day, every day. So use the products, become a product of the product, fall in love with the products. I was born in the 1960s. I have not had any Botox or fillers. Prior to finding Remon, I had drooping, sagging, and my Google searches were, how much is an eyelid lift? How long is the recovery from an eyelid lift? I mean, I was going deep into what I could do to help my face. Little did I know that there was a product on the market that I could use better than Botox to change my face. So this is what I encourage all of you to do, especially if you're brand new. Take your before picture. I know it seems crazy, but your before picture is going to be your moneymaker because everyone gets an after picture, whether it be 5 days, 30 days, 60 days, a year, 5 years for some of the folks who had access to this early in Korea before we did. But I love to say, if you give us a year, we will take off 10. Now, I know some of you are in your 20s. You don't want to take off 10 years, right? But maybe you want to improve the texture of your skin. Maybe you want to reduce acne and breakouts. We have before and after pictures for every sort of skin issue or condition. I don't claim to treat, cure, diagnose anything. However, ask your leaders, ask your upline, that's the person who sponsored you into the business, to share some before and after pictures with you, and you will be thrilled. Put some of those on your social media and let people know that you know where to get this and you are golden. So I know we're all such fans of the skincare. Let us know in the chat what you love most about our products. And I'm going to turn it over to my beautiful friend, Susan Manuello. So this is a rock star event tonight, people. I don't know if you know, but Susan Manuello, Senior Director. I don't know, what are there? like two women senior director. Maybe there's more. I don't know, but very, very few in our company. And Susan is a giving, caring, kind, lovely, generous person. She's beautiful inside and out. I am just in awe of her every day. Susan, I'm going to turn it over to you to share a little bit about our ranks. Thanks for being on.
Thank you, amazing Jen. Jen B. She knows I loved calling her Jen B. I'm so glad that you are all here tonight. Look at this amazing call. Like this is, the last call of 2025, our last orientation. And so every single person that's on here that has said yes to Remon, your future, let me tell you a secret. Your future is so bright. Your future is so bright. So we're just so thrilled that you guys are here to learn more about how to launch your business, how to plug in, and it starts here. So I'm just absolutely grateful to be here. Thank you, Maricel. Thank you, Jen. And we have some incredible coaches here the rest of the call too. But my job tonight is to tell you a little bit about how to get to senior manager. And I just want to share with you, when I first got started, like I will never forget, even though I have a background in the industry, I still, every opportunity like that I've been blessed to be a part of, which Remon is, of course, the Mecca, like it's definitely the best of the best. It still was overwhelming to me. And I know overwhelming is not a reality. Overwhelming is honestly just a very moment in time feeling. But to see that 6,000, SP, I remember thinking like, okay, wait a minute. How do I get to that number, right? So I'm sure you guys have heard a few sayings. I'm a big like I don't like the whole skin the cat saying. So I'm going to go with the fact that all of us have had pie. Have you not had pie over the holiday season? I'm sure you have. Okay. So there's multiple ways to cut a pie or to slice a pie, right? And so just like there's multiple ways to slice a pie, there's multiple ways to get to senior manager, and you guys get to choose the way that best fits your budget, that best fits the time frame, that best fits your freaking what you're willing to sacrifice for, okay? So I just want you guys to know it really, like, it's up to you, right? So you guys get to set that pace and you get to decide what's best for you. With that being said, your goal is 6,000 SP. So Mr. Alan Shu, I know you're my assistant tonight. If you want to share your screen so that they can see the visual of how to get to senior manager, that would be amazing. But what I mean by how there's several ways to slice the pie of senior manager, when you look at our compensation plan and you look at our amazing starter kits, okay, why I say amazing is because you get access to these starter packs for 30 days. So when you become a planner, hopefully, those of you that are on, you've become a planner, you've had the opportunity to select the starter kit that works best for you. And I believe Mr. Chris Kim is going to go over those. So don't worry, you're going to see them again. But each of those have an SP that is assigned, if you will, to each pack. And so when you slice the pie of senior manager, if you purchase a premium pack for 1,500 SP and you go find 3 other people, you're hitting that goal. If you decide to go and get 2 of the starter kits and come in at manager at 3,000 SP, you go find 1 more person, you're hitting that goal. But let's say that might be lofty for you. That feels like, hey, Susan, that's a little too much for me. That's okay. But just know that you will need to hit the ground running, right? You're going to need to get those K-pop scheduled. You're going to need to call every person on your list to share this incredible K-beauty with them. It is so doable. You guys will be shocked at how many people are searching for K-beauty and absolutely want what you have. So you're going to hit that goal, but just you're wanting to make sure that you're at that 6,000 SP in order to break that down. So set a time frame, that works for you. With our incredible leadership search promotion that's been going on, we want to help you guys get to team leader within 3 months. So, don't worry about that 50,000. You got to piece it out in doable goals and in doable steps. And the first one is to hit senior manager, right? So you want to do that as soon as possible to get to that goal so that you can go beyond and hit those bonuses. And so again, you just want to make sure that you invest in yourself. See, I always say it's a state of mind. You don't want to think about spending money. You want to really think about this as a business. So what are you willing to invest in your future? What are you willing to invest in your success with Remon? And that answer for me was to put my faith in this incredible product line that we have and know that people were going to want what I had. And so you're going to want to do that as well and stretch yourself to either that manager position, that senior manager position, and go find people to do the same thing. So as you can see, it is broken down. We have something very special with Remon. Okay. In our compensation plan, we have what's called rolling volume. And what that was new to me. So I'm going to tell you what that means if you're brand new to it as well. You know how in sales, every month you have a certain amount that you're hitting? Well, in Remon, it's rolling volume. So at manager and senior manager, you have 3 months to collectively gain the SP to get you to those marks, to that 3,000 SP and that 6,000 SP. That's why you see that very first bullet point says 2,000 SP per month over 3 months. So it is incredible. You don't have to start out, December, whatever you invest into, January, you're not going to start out at zero. You're actually going to start out at whatever you accomplished in December. It's going to roll over to January and then roll over to February. So again, you can do it quickly. You can do it over 3 months. It really is up to you. And the person that brought you in, they're going to help you do that as well. Okay. So you can count the SP that you purchase. You can also count whatever orders come in, whatever personal customers come in, and then also your first level distributors. So again, that's why I said me plus 3, right? So if you're doing that premium pack and you're going out there and finding 3 other people, you can count those first level distributors towards that goal. And then the customer requirement after you hit senior manager, so not in the beginning, but you do want to find those customers because we have a high return rate of people who come into your business and purchase those customers. So you're going to want to make sure you have those 3 active customers for future months. And then you can see with the game plan here that you have the opportunity to earn rewards. Not only as a senior manager, you lock in the compensation of 30% commissions, but in this diagram, you see that when you bring in a planner, you make what's called a differential. And again, if this is the first time hearing this, it's kind of like another language. Like you're gonna learn this as you go. And really the most important thing is for you to get out there and share these incredible products, get your customers, get your planners. But it's important to know that you're going to make those differentials off of someone who comes into your business, not only as a customer, but as a planner. And then we have something that's very special too. It's called Unilevel. And that is something you guys want to be sure you keep your eye on the ball with a senior manager position. You want to make sure that you lock in 10 lifetime customers. What is a lifetime customer? Anybody that has a customer profile with your business. And that way you can unlock the Unilevel with 1,000 SP every month. And that's going to be sure that you maximize the comp plan because you're going to be earning up to 5% on your first level of anybody that joins you. Second level, 5% as well, which I think is crazy. Third level, 3%, and fourth level is 3% as well. So every time you bring in somebody who also wants to share this incredible Remon product line, you're going to earn these percentages. So get out there, make sure you guys build your business with, again, customers and also planners, and you will hit that 6,000 SP and be on your way to the team leader position. And so that's where my next incredible speaker is up, and he is going to help you get to that next team leader rank. And I am so excited to introduce him because he has not only been a personal friend of mine, we have been like running partners from the beginning. We hit senior manager, team leader. He's running for director. He just got back from Singapore and Taiwan, global business here at Riemann, and has such a huge vision. And this is what is awesome about Riemann is we all come to this company from like different backgrounds, right? And the most special thing about Mr. Alan Shu is this is something that he does alongside his extremely busy schedule, and he is so successful with Riemann. So I can't wait for him to share with you guys how to get to team leader. Mr. Alan Shu, take it away.
Wow, thank you so much, Susan. And I want to thank Marisol and Jen as well. I look up to these ladies. They are powerful powerhouses in the company, really successful. And just to introduce myself, my name is Alan Shu. I am a pharmaceutical sales rep, so I work for corporate America. Raise your hands or put a one in the chat if you guys work for corporate America and you guys were ready to get out of that little rat race, right? I mean, that was me. I'm also a life coach and leadership trainer, so I'm busy, and I was introduced to my mentor now, National Director Christopher Kim, who I'm going to introduce to you guys very soon. But he told me the story that you guys all heard of, and I wasn't really sure if I was gonna do it. I was busy, but he ended up sharing and saying he didn't let me leave without saying try the products. And I tried the products. I used it. And after 4 days, oh my goodness, I've been using skincare for 11 years. But after 4 days, my skin was so soft and smooth. I was so amazed and I shared it. I shared it with some of my female friends, but wasn't until my friend Marisol Herrera, who's a team leader on my team as well. She used to wear a lot of makeup, and when I saw her using the skincare about 4 days later, 5 days later maybe, she was wearing about a fifth of the makeup, and that changed the game for me. I mean, I back then I just bought the 300 kit, but once I saw Marisol's face, I went straight to senior manager because I realized that this was the deal. Chris was telling me that, but I didn't believe it till I saw it, and I went all in. So I get the privilege to share with you guys about the team leader game plan. And, I didn't really know what I was doing in the beginning, but I just knew that this thing worked. And, I followed the game plan. I started to share the product. And once I saw that, I started to share like they say to share your 20 people in your first month. Once I believed it, I shared my first 20 people in that first week, got to senior manager really fast. And what I learned is that how to get to team leader, it's so important to get your senior manager story, right? And if your story is you're gonna get it done in 3 months, right? In that date, then everyone else is gonna do it in that 3 months. What I realized that my excitement did is that I got everybody in. I got everybody to senior manager, and what happened was I actually hit team leader in my second month, and I mean it's created life-changing income for me on top of what I do already. Like it's created really life-changing income, and people say like they want to get financial freedom, right? And this has truly been such a blessing. So, you know, just follow like what Marisol said, set that goal, follow it, okay? And I would really suggest all of you guys to set that date for the convention, right? February 27th. And get it done before that so you can walk on stage. But commit to that because it's totally possible. I have no experience in the industry. I started talking about the products, let people try it. And there's a 30-day money back guarantee. I mean, who has that? And that's what happened. And I get to share with you guys the benefits of it. So you can to become a team leader, you can get 10,000 per month for 5 months, or you can get that 50,000 SP anytime in 5 months, right? By convention, that would be 2 months, right? So you gotta get your three senior managers, and then in your total group, you gotta get this 50,000, but each group can count up to 50%, so about 25,000 per leg, right? And each month you'll get to acquire about 10,000 SP per month. And like Susan was talking about, for senior manager, you have to have three active customers. For team leader, you got to have 5 active customers. Super easy. You know, just tell your friends and family, buy a little sunscreen. It all counts, right? And now you're actually increasing your commission to 40 to 50%. And you get unlimited levels now, right? That's where the life-changing income starts. It starts with this team leader position. So you're getting 40% base commission. You're getting that generational leadership match, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And you have the unit level as well. So here, let me break it down. Look at this. Now, when I sign a customer, when you're a team leader, you're getting 40, 50% off your customer. Do we love customers? Raise your hand if you love getting that 40 to 50%, right? So now when you sign a new planner, this is what happens. You get 30% off what your new planner does, right? And you know, you're the team leader now, so you have a little bit more experience. The planner is just getting started, so you get more of the commission there. But now, if the planner signs a new planner, that planner is going to get 5% off the new planner, and then the newest planner, you get that differential, which will be about 25%. So that's why it says 5 to 25% here. And this goes all the way down. And now when you get a manager, right, 20%, and you get the difference here. And then senior manager, you're getting 10%. But look, you're getting all that commission right here. And this is where it becomes life-changing because it's unlimited levels, like it says right here. And what is this unit level? So once you get about 1000 SP in personal purchases or sales, which is basically activity of what you're doing already, now you're gonna get an additional 5% and 5% off your first and second level, and you get 6 levels of this unit level up to 3% now, up to 6 levels now. That is where you get that extra money, right? So what happens when somebody becomes a team leader now on my team, right? So let's say I sign Susan. Susan becomes a team leader and she signs Jen. They become team leaders and they have Marisol with the team leader right there. Well, I'm getting a check match from 10 to 40%. And from these superstars like Susan, Marisol, and Jen, getting check match from them, are you kidding me? This is where the beauty starts, and this is where the residual income starts. I used to hear of this word residual income. I never believed it was possible, but now that I'm actually achieving it, I mean, it is so amazing to really to have that now. So, with that being said, let me talk to you about so going back to the team leader game plan. So it's all about becoming your senior manager, right? Becoming a senior manager first. And when I started, I became a senior manager. I didn't know how to get to team leader, but what I did know how to do is get to senior manager. So what you're gonna help do is find your 3 superstars or 10 superstars and then help them get to senior manager. That's all you're doing here. You want to become a senior manager making factory. I learned this term and it really made me focus on what's the important part of this business. You want to help people become successful, and how do you do that? Get them to senior manager. When people start, you help them to get senior manager. When they bring new people, help them get to senior manager. That's the team leader's job. And if you do the math, 6,000 SP for one senior manager. You find 9 of them. Boom. That's about 54,000 SP. You're a team leader right there, okay? And with the last part I want to talk about, duplication of senior managers is the fastest way to become a team leader. The hardest way to become a team leader is focusing on team leader. So just focus on duplicating yourself. Get to senior manager fast, whether it's getting the kids, whether it's sharing the 20 people in your first week or first 3 days, and then duplicate that. That's all it is, and it makes the whole game a lot easier. So with that being said, I get the privilege to introduce my mentor and my friend, National Director Christopher Kim, he was once a K-pop star, and the story that really impressed me was that he was such a successful K-pop star, but I'll let him tell a story, but he was so successful in previous industries, and he said that he was going to come to Remon, and he said this was going to be his last dance, and that's what really, really made someone who had no experience come over here. So with that being said, thank you, Mr. Christopher Kim.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Alan. What an amazing training. I want to give it back to Marcel, Jen, Susan, and Alan for doing such a wonderful job. Why don't we give them a big heart and a one just for all their effort, giving their special time. Thank you so much. So with that said, I want to thank everybody for being here. My name is Christopher Kim. I'm a national director here at Remon. Wow, watching this training, this is the last orientation training of 2025. We are writing history in the present moment right now. But here are some key takeaways that I got from this training. When you see speakers like Marisol, like a doctor, or Jen, that's just been in the industry for a long time, raising children, being a stay-at-home mom, or people like Alan in the corporate, in the corporate structure, right? These people have the best story, right? The story of full-time on your job, part-time on your fortune, but then your part-time fortune makes you 2-3 times what your salary would be. This is the amazing story, right? Or a has-been like me that was a K-pop guy, right? Now, for me, when I first got started 18 years ago, I didn't know the B to business, but here's what I did understand. Now, back then, when I was a singer, I would like to say I was a singer for Korean people's music, but today K-pop has gone universal, international, with that said. But here's what I did understand. I didn't understand business, but the concept of doing something once and getting paid on it over and over and over, like a customer would buy from you, and they keep buying it, not because they love you, but because they sheerly want the product, and you were the vessel that introduced it. But because you introduced it, every time they buy, you get paid. What kind of fantastic what concept is that? I understood this concept in a different way as a musician, right? For those of you that are on the call, I'm sure some of you may have heard of the artist BTS, right? BTS, they're well known in America. The CEO of BTS was my songwriter 20-something years ago. Now, here's what I do know, right? We spent 4 hours together in a recording studio. We recorded that song. It went on to become a hit. And 20-somewhat years later, he's still getting paid on that song. And it's called copyright, right? We hear about Michael Jackson making more money after he passed, right? This is what residual income is. It's the concept of money working for you, right? And this is why Remon is the perfect opportunity, because it's a platform that helps you do that on behalf of these customers that are buying from you, not because they're obligated, but because they sheerly, truly want the product. So here's the best way I could explain it. The reason why on the orientation call we talk about senior manager and team leader the most is you have to become a senior manager duplicating factory, and don't even focus on yourself, just focusing on your team and helping them go senior manager as much as possible. And one day, like Alan Shu said, he'll wake up as a team leader, right? So the concept of this entire training is we just do 3 things, right? We get customers, we get customer getters, and we do repeat again and again, rinse and repeat. So with that said, our speakers did a great training tonight, but I'm going to also touch upon and talk about some of the important things as well, which is having the right mindset, right? What to prepare for, what to expect, managing the right expectations, right? Luckily for me, 18 years ago, I had a mentor that told me these things. He ingrained it into me, and I carried all those basics with me till today, and we still apply it, rinse and repeat. So the first thing I want to share with you guys today is that special word action, right? Nothing happens without action. A lot of times we'll get together, we'll talk about how great the products are, or what we're going to do when we're national directors, or when your income hits a certain amount. But the reality of the matter is we're not doing anything. You're not building Remon, you're talking about Remon. And in Remon, there are certain specific money-making activities that we need to focus on. And the number one thing when I see action is scheduling your 2K pop-ups. This is by far the most important action you can do, because it's like, how do you go on to buy the car that you like, right? You probably go to the dealership, you hear some information, but ultimately they give you a test drive. They sell you an experience, right? When you go to the Apple store, what are you doing, right? You're going to touch the iPad, the iPhone, and they let you have an experience, right? Well, when you open your own business, right, what do? You do a grand opening, right? And what do? You tell everybody, the people you care about, the people you love. Some will, some won't. Some wait, and that's okay, and we move on, right? But the key is to do those 2K pop-ups, right? Because I promise you, in that K pop-up, you're gonna probably talk to 20 people. Maybe 5 might not show up, maybe 7 will, 8 will, 9 will, and then among those, some will become customers, some are going to think about it, and some are going to get started with you. And that's completely okay. But the true reality of the matter is you have to do these K pop-ups over and over and over again because of your learning curve. You have to know what to expect in a K pop-up, right? Whether you got to answer the questions, know how to do the demo, know the sequence of the product. And because our products are K-beauty, affordability, you're going to get a lot of onslaught sales right then and there. You're going to get a lot of customer enrollments, and people are going to be your partner, right? So it's important to do this because you want to get the results. You want to have that leaning forward motion, but you also want to learn how this is done, right? So the first thing you need to do is make a commitment, schedule in and pencil in that first K-pop update and that second K-pop update, right? When you make a decision, when you make a commitment, weird things happen, and it puts you in a position to get it done. And it's really pre-programming your mind to get those goals out of the way. Okay. The second part I want to talk about is making a list. Making a list is one of the most important things. This is your ammunition in the business, right? So here's what I want to tell you. A lot of the times, the people you think that will do it, they probably won't. And the people you think that won't do it, they probably will, right? I'm like one of those guys. People thought I wasn't going to do it. People already made up their mind, made up the decision in their mind that I'm not going to do it because I was a K-pop dude, right? But deep down inside, I was looking for something. But at the right moment in time, in that crossroad, network marketing, direct sales came into my life, and I took a bet on myself, right? So never, ever prejudge somebody and make that list. If somebody's going to tell you, oh, I don't have a lot of people on my list, it's not that they don't have people on their list. They've already made the decision that they're not going to be on the list, right? So we have to have that clarity and not prejudge and let the people make a decision for themselves and not take it personally. The next part I want to talk about is creating your product and business story. Miss Jen Barsamian hit it on the nail. What did she say? Everyone's going to have great after pictures, but you only get that one before picture. And that one before picture is by far the most important thing. Here at Team 1%, in our team, we say a saying called change your face, change your finances. Why? Because the moment you change your face, you have to understand it becomes a catalyst that sparks a conversation. Maricel, what did you do to your face? By the way, did you get Botox? Jen, did you do some procedures? Susan, how did you turn back the clock for 5 years? You got to tell me what's going on. That makes the case to talk about Remon, and it leads into whether it's going to be a consumption-based consumer or a partner in your business, right? So you have to be a walking billboard, product of the product, and create that business story, right? These before and afters do all the talking for you. They do the heavy lifting. They do all the work for you. And guess what? Red, brown, yellow, black, and white, people from all walks of life can participate in this. Why? Because the reality is there is no one size fits all skincare, but everybody can participate in what? Double cleanse, nourish, protect, rinse, and repeat. And the results are just on and on and on and on. So many beautiful ladies, young, golden age, mid age, mother age, all walks of life, people from all parts of the world, and they are seeing fabulous results. And this is why Remon, wherever we go, we are seeing massive momentum and lots of excitement, right? So with that said, I also want you to make a commitment to the events that you're going to attend, right? The first one is the orientation date, and the second one is your presentation date. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we have the Remon Revealed and the Remon Orientation. Now, when you're a brand new planner, for the brand new people on the call today, take notes. Listen to these speakers. These speakers, they've done what you're going to do. Every mistake you're going to make, we've probably already made it, right? So what do? Learn from our mistakes, right? But here's another caveat I want to leave you with. Even though you've listened to the orientation date maybe once or twice or 3 times, I want to challenge you, get on it every single week for probably the next 90 days. Get on it every single week. The Remon Revealed and the orientation date. Why? Here's the secret, right? You're going to have different speakers that are all saying the same thing with a different type of a tone and delivery, right? And when you go on to this and listen over and over and over and over again, like you would listen to your favorite song, what happens is you're going to pick up on the things that you like, and you're going to make it yours. And wherever you go, you're going to be like a paratrooper, right? Whether you're launching someone at a Starbucks or whether you're going to a K pop-up, now, because you have this down in your head, you can do an immediate launch right then and there. You don't need to wait for the next Tuesday or Thursday to roll through. This is the action you take to build momentum, right? And it starts with building in the basics. So remember, for those of you that are new, get on the orientation, get on the Riemann Reveal, get on it over and over and over again till you memorize it. Also, make a commitment to your team events, what day, what time, whether it's at the House of Riemann, whether it's a Zoom call, make that commitment, right? Show up for your upline because your upline is going to show up for you, right? Your first training date, right? Your first convention date. All of these matter, especially the first convention date coming up in the end of February. Guys, here's what I would like to say. If you haven't been to a Riemann convention yet, you're not quite an official Riemann planner just yet. It's like saying, you know, I went to Ruth Chris, I tried the iceberg wedge salad. It was amazing. The bread rolls were hot and steamy, but I just didn't have enough time for the steak and I went home. But Ruth Chris was awesome, guys. Right? Don't miss the convention, right? Here on the call, we talked about what? This business is about the transfer of belief, transfer of emotion, transfer of conviction, whether it's the results, a paycheck, or being personal development. That's all transfer of belief. And when you are able to cultivate a team and have the most people at that event, meaning you have the biggest real estate in the room, then you're going to be able to transfer the most emotion out of that room. You're going to be the biggest team to win. So make a commitment, but it happens with you doing it first, taking action, being a leader. Now, with that said, as we wrap up, I'm going to touch upon these starter kits because number one, we're wrapping up 2025. I want to give you an incentive to wrap up 2025 strong. But here's something about these starter kits. These starter kits were specifically designed for you to strategically hit senior manager and team leader very, very easily. Now, myself, when I got started, I got the 1,500 packs because I knew I was going to need product. Now, with that said, that's not for everybody, right? But I knew I was going to leave some money on the table and I went straight to senior manager and I was going to need a lot of product. Now, with that said, here is the double-edged sword, right? First and foremost, get in where you fit in. Get in where you're comfortable because, boy, am I going to tell you, with or without my advice, you're going to upgrade later anyway down the line. You're going to realize how much more product you're going to need anyway, right? So get in where you fit in. Get in where you're comfortable. Why? Because Maricel, Jen, Alan, Susan, what we all want from you, more than you buying these products, we want your time. We want your time investment. We want you all in with us. We want to run for those goals. We want to run with you. This is what's the most important part. Now, whether you get the 1500 SP, the 1000 SP, or the 300 SP, it's okay because I know you're going to upgrade. But remember, what you do ultimately duplicates, right? And what this actually ties into is your time investment, meaning you get to choose what you're going to be paid for on your time, right? So choose wisely and let that duplicate. But again, on the flip side, get in where you fit in. It's okay. We're going to work with you because what we want ultimately is your time investment. Now, for my fellow Canadians, these are our starter kits priced in CAD. It's the same equivalent as the USD in multiplied by 3. So you guys are all good. As you know, also, all of these, it does, when you upgrade and things like that, it does apply to your next rank. It does apply to your rank advancement. So with that said, guys, we are coming to an end of 2026. Guys, we are 2 days out. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. With the closing of 2025, entering into 2026, we have our new leadership search promotion. Riemann is getting aggressive. We're looking for leaders. Who's the new leader? Who's that next team leader? Who's the next director? Who's the next senior director? Probably most of you haven't even met your future national director partner. So with that said, Riemann is getting aggressive. Any new planner that has a start date in the month of December, if you hit team leader in 3 months, you're going to earn 2,500 cash on top of your commissions. You hit director in 6 months, you're going to earn 5,000 in cash on top of those commissions. Senior director in 9 months, you're going to earn 7,500. And if you hit national director in 12 months, you're going to scoop up an extra 10,000 in cash, and I will be there to throw rose petals at your feet, give you the glory because you did it, right? National director, let's go. But you also have a chance to scoop up that extra $25,000 on top of commissions. And with that said, guys, this is the end of the year. We are about about 36 hours out till the new year, and we are approaching the last day of the month. It is pay period deadline. This is an urgent matter. It requires immediate attention. Sense of urgency is at an all-time high because we do the ranks by monthly qualification, usually probably the 30th, 31st, probably 36 hours out, 24 hours out. That's when a lot of push, a lot of business and sales BP comes into your business. So make sure you don't be an announcer, but you become a great promoter, meaning focus on the details, call your team, make sure you follow up. Why? The fortune is in the follow-up. So with that said, I want to thank everybody for being on this call. We got to go over the support system. We went over Remon.com, your online platform, the drive for all your marketing needs, how to launch your business, and I got to cover the last recap of monthly event and calendar promotion. So with that said, we will be launching our Remon Roadmap next convention for 2026 in February, probably the last weekend of February, going into March. Make sure you guys promote this. And as you know, 2025 has been a hot year. We have opened up in multiple countries. But with that said, to all of our fellow partners in North America, remember, let's think global, but let's focus on the local, right? You can literally build a global business from the comfort of your backyard. So with that said, every Tuesday and Thursday, we have orientation and Remon Revealed. We have dynamic speakers. Make sure you promote this. Don't be an announcer. Make sure you're a promoter. Get your people on this because more and more exposures is what's going to get you the final yes coming in. So with that said, I want to thank everybody. I wish you guys have a happy new year. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. With that said, please, no drinking and driving. Don't party too hard. Be safe. Uber, Lyft, all that stuff is around. Be responsible, and I wish you much success coming into 2026. To the Remon family, thank you so much. We will see you next week. Have a great week. Enjoy. Goodbye, everyone. Good night.